I'm Terry, my husband Steve, and we're here today to talk to you about camping. If you have a companion, be it a spouse or loved one that maybe would like to go camping, and we'd like to be able to open up that world for you and give you some ideas about it. And this is how we do it. I'm sure there's like 100 different ways you could possibly do it, but we have a Ford Transit van. This is the medium roof style. There's actually a lower roof and a higher roof, but we use the medium one. We're able to stand up inside, and we're going to give you a view of that in a few moments. But that allows us to be able to move around, change his position, and we're not hitting our heads when we're doing it. A couple different options that we know of are either the side lift or one in the rear. And if you get one with the side lift, which is what we use, you're able to hook up to a camper in the back. With the side entry lift, you're able to open it up and still have your camper connected in the back. Remove one. With this nice switch system here, you can deploy it, you can put it up and down with ease. And it even is, if it has a fail-safe system, if this is not working, there's also a lever in here that you can actually crank it and pump it. By the way, this is our dog Sandy. Apparently she wants to get in the picture, and she does love to go camping, don't you? As do we all. So inside there's a 4-point system of tie downs that was installed by the same manufacturer that installed the lift, and that makes it safe that they can ride in the chair, in their wheelchair. They don't even have to get out of it, so that's a really nice feature. There are still some seats in the back, so if you just wanted to fold up a wheelchair and get the individual out, and the individual can transfer to a seat, they could ride with just a regular shoulder belt and seat. So in addition to the 4-point tie-down system with riding in a wheelchair, there's also a shoulder belt that goes over the individual, so if they're secure. Now for our needs, we like to have a separate sleeping area for our son, separate from our camper. So oftentimes he will stay in the van. There is room with the wheelchair and its tie-down systems, and for him to ride in that spot, plus a twin-size bed. So that's what my husband has devised here. And this is it's just plywood and supports underneath, and the bed mattress, a twin-size bed mattress, can fit here. And my husband is able to transfer our son from a wheelchair onto the front corner of the mattress up there, and this is where he sleeps. We also have a wall that's not installed right now. We're not going to show you that, but we do have the option to put in a wall and an air conditioner, so he is kept nice and cool in here no matter what the weather conditions. Once again, this is what we do. I'm sure there's like 100 different ways you can probably camp with a physically challenged person, but this is what we do. We do pull a 26-foot camper with the Ford Transit van. You have to really watch the weight though. You have to watch the dry weight of the camper to make sure you're going to be able to pull it. The van allows us to load our son who's in a wheelchair. So we did find we had to look really hard to find a camper that we were able to pull, but this one is under 5,000 pounds, and we are, we're good to go with our van. This is the hitch that we use, hitch setup. Once again, what's really nice about that is with the van, it's not a rear loading. You don't load the individual off the rear, so this setup does not interfere with loading the handicapped individual. So the side entry van really works well for us. Here's some expandable aluminum ramps that we can use to the door of the camper. So the other thing you want to look at, though, when you're purchasing a camper that we had to look hard and long for, is the width of the door. A lot of times the width of doors of campers will be too narrow for most wheelchairs. So be sure to measure that. You need the clearance of the door. You need to know the clearance. You may have, it's simple enough to get the width of the wheelchair, at the widest point you want to measure. But you need to, if you're trying to do this over the phone with camper salespeople, you're going to need the full width of the door. And once again, the aluminum expandable ramps, they just lay right here basically, and then you'd be able to push the wheelchair up into the van, into the camper, and which we do. Even though our son stays in the twin bed in the van, sometimes he comes in here, he can come in here to eat, he can come in here to just hang out. We've got the TV in here. So sometimes, it's just a nice way for him to come in and hang out for the day. Now, maybe camping is not your thing, but maybe going out on a boat would be something that the physically challenged person would enjoy doing. So with this type of setup, you've got the hitch and you have the side entry van. So once again, if you're going to pull any sort of a camper, it has the hitch system, obviously, with a van, you really need to side load that physically challenged person from the side of the van. You can't have anything. It would be very problematic to be loading that individual in the back and having to unhitch the camper every time you needed to do that. So really need to look for a van, full-size van that's able to pull a good-sized camper and really get out there and enjoy the nature. And we've camped everywhere from Yellowstone to the Florida Keys, and I tell you, it's just fantastic. You can do it.